Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be diving into the world of running hotels in India today, and specifically, we're looking at mistake number 25.
Oh, 25.
Yeah, 25 in this blog series called 50 Mistakes Why Most Hotels Fail and How You Can Succeed. Which, by the way, we're halfway through.
Wow, already.
Time flies when you're having fun uncovering hotel mistakes, right?
Yeah.
This particular mistake is all about how ignoring guest safety can really hurt the trust people have in your hotel.
Yeah, that's huge EE.
It is. I'm Mike.
I'm Karen.
And Karen is our hotel expert.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here.
Karen, can you just give us like a quick rundown on this blog series we're talking about today?
Yeah, so the series is written by Arun Kumar Raman, who's like a big name in the Indian hotel scene, tons of experience, really knows what he's talking about. And this blog series is kind of like his masterclass in, not messing things up.
Love it. And today we're honing in on mistake number 25, specifically, why ignoring guest safety measures impacts trust. So picture this.
Yeah.
You've just checked into a hotel, you're exhausted from traveling, all you want is some peace and quiet, right?
Absolutely.
But then you start noticing things, a loose lock on your door, the hallways are kind of dim,
Yeah.
you can't even find a fire extinguisher.
Oh, no.
I know, right? Wouldn't you start feeling a little uneasy?
No, in a heartbeat. I don't care how fancy the hotel is. If I don't feel safe, forget it. That's all I'm going to remember.
Exactly, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, you know. Arun really goes deep on how this can snowball into bigger problems. He tells this Tale of Two Hotels story that I thought was really eye-opening.
Oh, I remember that one.
So there's this budget hotel in Delhi, and they kind of skimped on the safety stuff, like broken locks, fire exits blocked, the whole 9 yards.
Not good.
And then, guess what happens? A guest actually experiences an attempted break-in.
Oh, that's awful.
I know, terrifying. And of course, the guest is totally freaked out, leaves a scathing review online. And you can imagine potential guests see that and they're like, nope. Arun says that hotels' ratings just tanked overnight.
It's a nightmare scenario, isn't it? And unfortunately, it's not as uncommon as we'd like to think.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn. Now, Arun contrasts that story with another hotel, same area, similar price point. But this one invested in a really strong safety culture, like 24/7 security, digital key cards, clear evacuation plans, everything.
Yeah, it's about going the extra mile, showing your guests you really care about their well-being. Like even those digital key cards, they're way harder to copy than a regular key, right? Adds that extra layer of security.
Right. And they even had those little fire safety maps on the back of the room doors. It's the little things, you know.
They really do make a difference.
They totally do. And guess what? Increased bookings, reputation for being family-friendly, more business travelers choosing them over their competitors, makes you think, safety isn't just about avoiding bad PR. It can actually attract more guests.
It's a smart investment, really.
Totally. So Arun highlights these 4 major consequences of ignoring safety. First, the obvious one, bad guest experience. Who's coming back after a scary incident, right?
Nope.
Plus, those bad online reviews can stick around forever.
It's like a digital stain that's tough to get rid of.
For sure. Then there's the potential legal trouble if, say, a guest gets hurt because of negligence. Lawsuits can be devastating for any business, especially a smaller hotel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not to mention the damage to the hotel's reputation, their credibility.
Yeah, trust is a fragile thing,
It really is.
especially in a market as competitive as India's.
Absolutely.
And lastly, Arun points out that ignoring safety straight up leads to fewer bookings.
Makes sense.
Today's travelers, they're doing their research,
Oh, yeah, they're savvy.
They check reviews, they compare safety ratings, and they pick hotels, known for prioritizing their well-being. It's like a seal of approval that really sways their decisions.
You're spot on. It's become a major decision factor for travelers, often outweighing things like price or location.
Wow,
People are willing to pay a premium for that peace of mind.
I can see that. So we've seen the downside, but Arun doesn't leave us hanging. He actually tells us what hotels can do to make their properties safer.
Right. He gives some super practical advice, and the best part is it can be adapted for any hotel, no matter how big or small, what their budget is.
That's great.
It is.
Well, we're going to dive into those actionable tips in the next part of our deep dive, so stick around. Okay, so we know safety is, like, non-negotiable, right? But where do we even start? Thankfully, Arun gives us a pretty clear roadmap in his blog.
He does.
It's called How to Make Your Hotel Safe and Secure, and it's full of great advice.
It's like a cheat sheet for peace of mind.
Totally. First up, upgrading room security. We talked about digital key cards before, but he also mentions things like good lighting in the hallways and making sure security cameras are in the right spots. Sometimes those long, dim corridors can be a little creepy.
Oh, tell me about it. And it's not just about feeling safe, it's about actually being safe. Good lighting can deter crime, and cameras can be a deterrent too. Plus, they're helpful if something does happen.
Right, right. Like extra eyes looking out for you. Makes you feel more relaxed knowing someone's got your back.
Absolutely.
So then Orrin talks about staff training for emergencies.
Oh, that's so important.
I know, right? It's like you can have all the safety equipment in the world, but if your staff doesn't know how to use it during a fire or a medical emergency, it's pointless.
It's like having a life jacket but not knowing how to put it on.
Exactly. Arun specifically mentions regular fire drills and evacuation training. Have you
Mm.
ever been in a hotel when the fire alarm goes off and everyone's just wandering around, totally confused?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good look.
Not at all. It can actually make things worse.
Totally. But well-trained staff, they can be the difference between chaos and a calm, organized evacuation.
Absolutely. Getting everyone to safety quickly and efficiently.
Yep. Arun also highlights this front desk staff, how they need to be prepared to handle medical emergencies.
Oh, for sure. They're usually the first point of contact when something happens.
Exactly. What if a guest has an allergic reaction or suddenly gets sick? Having someone at the front desk trained in basic first aid and emergency procedures, that could be life-saving.
Absolutely.
Like a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Arun moves on to hygiene and health safety, which has become even more crucial these days.
Oh, absolutely. Especially after the pandemic, everyone's much more aware of it.
For sure. Hand sanitizers everywhere. But Arun also talks about regular deep cleaning of high-touch areas, strict food safety checks, making sure the drinking water is clean.
Yeah, all those little things that can make a big difference in preventing illness.
Absolutely. What I thought was really interesting was his point about transparency.
Oh, being open about your safety measures.
Yeah. Being upfront about it can actually boost guests' confidence.
It's all about communication, right? Putting it out there on your website, having emergency contact numbers clearly displayed in every room. Guests want to know that you've thought about these things. When they see that you're being transparent, it builds trust.
For sure. It's like a silent reassurance.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, Arun wraps up his advice by talking about how important it is to respond to safety concerns.
Right. You have to show your guests that you're actually listening and taking action.
Exactly. He talks about addressing complaints quickly, responding to concerns with empathy, taking those negative safety-related reviews seriously.
It's about turning a negative situation into a positive one, showing that you care.
Yeah, showing that you're constantly trying to improve.
Exactly. Every complaint, every review is a chance to learn and do better.
And when guests see that you're taking their feedback to heart, it just reinforces their trust in you. Okay, so we've covered Arun's practical advice, but let's shift gears a bit. He doesn't just focus on what not to do. He talks about all the amazing opportunities that come with prioritizing safety.
Right. It's not just about damage control, it's about creating a competitive advantage.
Exactly. He even has a section called The Opportunity, Build Guest Trust, and Increase Bookings. He starts by talking about families with young children, which is a massive part of the travel market.
Oh, for sure. And they have different needs and priorities than other travelers.
Totally. And parents are naturally going to be more cautious, right? They want a hotel where their kids can relax and have fun without them constantly having to worry.
Of course, they're looking for a safe and secure environment for their little ones.
Right. Things like child-proof rooms, secure play areas, staff trained to handle kids, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Hotels that go above and beyond for families are really tapping into a gold mine. Happy families mean positive reviews, repeat business, and strong word-of-mouth referrals.
It's powerful stuff.
It really is.
Then Arun talks about another important group, business travelers.
Ah, yes, they definitely have their own set of needs.
They do. They want to feel safe and secure so they can focus on work.
Exactly. They need to know their belongings are safe, that they can work without being disturbed.
Right. Imagine trying to meet a deadline in a dimly lit room with a flimsy lock.
Oh, that would be a nightmare.
Not very productive. So hotels that cater to business travelers need to prioritize reliable Wi-Fi, well-lit workspaces, and of course, top-notch security.
Absolutely. Things like in-room safes, 204/7 security personnel, clear communication about emergency procedures, all of that matters.
It all adds up to that feeling of reassurance so they can relax and get their work done, knowing they're in a safe and secure environment.
Precisely.
And let's not forget about those positive online reviews. Business travelers rely on them heavily when making decisions,
Oh, absolutely. When they see other travelers praising a hotel's safety measures, it gives them the confidence to book directly.
which is a win for the hotel too.
Yeah.
Cuts out those third-party booking fees and builds a direct relationship with the guest.
Exactly. A win-win situation.
Okay, and lastly, Arun reminds us that investing in good security can actually save hotels a lot of headaches in the long run.
It's about being proactive rather than reactive. By minimizing risks, you're avoiding potential lawsuits, damage to your reputation, all that stress.
It's like that saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Exactly.
So as we go deeper into Arun's insights, we see that safety is so much more than just a list of precautions. It's a real strategic advantage.
It's a foundation for success.
It really is.
It's about creating an environment where guests feel truly cared for.
That's what separates the good hotels from the great ones.
Absolutely.
Well, we've unpacked a lot of valuable info, but we're not done yet. We've got more to explore in the final part of our deep dive, including some final thoughts from Arun that will really make you think. So stay tuned. So we've talked a lot about the downsides of overlooking safety, but also all the upsides of getting it right.
Definitely a lot to consider.
It is.
Yeah.
But Arun, he leaves us with this final thought that really got me thinking. He says safety isn't just about, preventing bad things from happening. It's about creating a good environment.
Yeah, I love that. Instead of just focusing on the risks and the fear, he flips it, right?
Yeah.
He says, let's create a place where guests feel taken care of.
Exactly. And it makes you realize, safety isn't just checking boxes on a list. It's about building trust.
For sure.
And trust is at the heart of any successful hotel.
It really is.
When guests feel safe, they feel valued, they can relax and actually enjoy their stay.
Right. And then they leave with those good memories, which is what we all want when we travel, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Arun reminds us that focusing on safety isn't just about avoiding bad press or lawsuits. It's about attracting those positive outcomes.
Yeah, it's like a win-win.
It is. Safety leads to trust. Trust leads to loyalty. Loyalty leads to success.
And that's what makes this whole discussion so valuable, right? It's not just about pointing out mistakes. It's about finding opportunities.
Totally.
It's about understanding that safety isn't a cost. It's an investment.
An investment in your guests, your reputation, your future. So as we wrap up our look at mistake number 25, I think the big takeaway is this. Safety is the cornerstone of a great hotel.
Couldn't agree more.
It's not just a department or a bunch of rules. It's a whole mindset, a culture that affects every part of the hotel.
And for all the hotel owners and managers listening out there, I really encourage you to take this to heart.
Yeah.
Go beyond the basics. Get creative. Find ways to weave safety into everything you do.
Make it a core value, not just something you have to do.
Exactly, because when you prioritize safety, you're not just protecting your guests, you're giving them the best possible experience.
And that's what's going to make you stand out, especially with all the competition out there.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into guest safety and trust.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We hope you learned a thing or two, and maybe you're even feeling inspired to up your safety game at your own hotels.
Because remember, when guests feel safe, they feel valued.
And that's what it's all about, creating a truly great experience for your guests.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive, ready to uncover more hidden gems and help you build thriving businesses. Thanks for listening.